Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm back to talk about the Vampire Diaries, this time about episode 702, titled Never Let Me Go, which aired Thursday, October 15th, 2015 on the CW. So, guys, what an episode. I don't even know what to say about it really, but I'm gonna have to try. And it is almost 2 hours after the episode ended for me when I'm recording this. So, before I get started, reminders again, if you have not watched the episode yet, do so before you listen to my video. I do not want any of my thoughts or opinions to cloud your own experience in viewing the episode. So watch it first, make up your own mind about it, and then come and watch my video to see if we notice the same things, you notice something and I didn't, or vice versa. And if you want to leave a comment down below to share those with me, I'd love to hear about it. So, let's get started. 10-minute clock. Once it gets going. Okay, and here we go. So, what did we learn in this episode? I got quite a list here, actually. So, we learned, number one, that whoever cursed Bo and whoever is after Stefan in the future, who also gave him that cross mark on his chest, they are both somehow connected to that Phoenix Stone, that red stone that Alaric has, which we learn a bit more about it in this episode, especially as to how and why Alaric wants it. Apparently it's meant to resuscitate the dead, in a sense. But we find out about the connection between those cross marks and the Phoenix Stone through visions that Bonnie has when she touches the stone. So there's that. I'm not going to get into it. Second thing, apparently Stefan met Valerie back in 1863. Possibly before he met Catherine. So that's interesting. Didn't think that was possible. Now I'm wondering, is that when Valerie was human? I'm assuming so. So there's that. Third thing, Lily now has both Caroline and Elena as her hostages to punish Stefan and Damon. Very similar to what she did to them when they were kids. She would usually took their toys away when she wanted to punish them, which she brings up one incident in the episode she brought up to Damon about how she dealt with him as a child. So that's one thing. Another thing we learned, another future flash forward to 3 years from now again, this time to Dallas, Texas, for Caroline, who seems to be working at a TV station. Apparently, she's also engaged, and that someone is not Stefan. Apparently, she doesn't want to hear the name Stefan Salvatore ever. And that right there is not going to go well with all the Stereoline fans. To know 3 years from now, not only are they not engaged, but they're not even, Caroline's not on speaking terms with Stefan. It's just, what does that say for the relationship in the present day right now? It's like they're just starting out. So there's that. New thing also, Enzo showed not only his musical talents on the guitar in this episode, which was great, but he displayed some very intimate feelings towards Lily. He definitely does not want her to see him as one of her children. So it definitely caught her off guard, that's for sure, by her reaction of it. So there's that. So, what was the most shocking moment of the episode for me? Quite a list again, actually. I should say this now. Probably all the future flash forwards, which I'm assuming we might get one in every episode as the opener and the ending for the episode. But those are probably going to be the ones that shock me the most. So, with that being said, the future engagement for Caroline was a surprise, since not only is she not engaged to Stefan, but she also makes a reference that she and her fiance know that they cannot go back to Mystic Falls, and this is 3 years from now. So does that mean that Lily is still in charge of Mystic Falls or something? I don't know, another question to add. But it also gives me the sense that her fiance either knows that she's a vampire or he is also a vampire. But we know that someone is also after Caroline as well, because at the end she was staked in the stomach and her assistant was killed. So maybe it's the same person who's after the Salvatores in New York, but it's definitely not Caroline who was after the Salvatores in New York back in last week's episode, like I had impulsively thought. So, next shocker in the present day would have to be the Phoenix Stone, which turns out whatever dead thing that comes into contact with the Phoenix Stone seems to be temporarily brought back to life. That's going to be quite inconvenient when you suddenly lose a stone and you suddenly drop dead. Actually, that I think another TV show had that idea about. I think it's called Pushing Daisies or something. But the whole fact that he would touch a dead body, they'd come back to life, and then if he touched them again, they would drop dead permanently. I think that's what it was. Anyways, another shocker. Enzo's riddled confession to Lily about his loyalties to her being basically decided because he fancies her. So, I guess it's not a new thing for us vampire to like their sire. Or eventually like their sire. Otherwise, the whole sire bond would be an issue. So anyways, top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be the Salvatore childhood references that were being made. Basically, that came in the form of Lily and Damon, how she would think of how she used to punish Damon when he was a child by taking away his toys, because once he did that, he would usually confess to what he did wrong, when previously he would stay shut and deny everything, even if he was being beat, even if he was, even if other things had happened to him. But the fact to get from Lily that we heard that Damon was beaten as a kid, that's just heartbreaking. And apparently she did nothing about it, is what I'm getting at. So anyways, while Lily may be taking a page out of the old punishment book in regards to her biological sons, Stefan and Damon are learning from their past reactions to Lily's punishments, because when they were kids, they would turn on each other and fight with each other. And this time they're learning that that is exactly what Lily wants. So instead, they're going to band together and make Lily think that they're turning on each other when really they're working together. So I really like that they're growing in their brotherhood, and that they're not going to let someone come between them again, like they had Catherine come between them before, like they had Lily come between them before. And so that's great to have them have that brotherhood back. Second thing I liked was the phone call between Damon and Bonnie. It was very brief, but you could really sense the friendship, the care, and the support between the two of them as they talk about what they did to Malcolm and what was being retaliated because of Malcolm, and then what they're going to do about it and how they came up with a plan to get their mutual friend back. Third thing that I liked was Damon telling Lily that Elena isn't one of his toy soldiers that she could take away from him. I thought that was really telling. And then Lily countered that Malcolm was in a vase like Damon broke when he was a kid. But I thought it was really something for Damon, because before, when we first meet Damon, he viewed human life as playthings for him. He could just use them and dispose of them whenever he wants. But because of the growth he had, and because of what he had with Elena, he's now viewing that, at least with her, the human life is precious. I guess with Elena, it's always been precious to him, but now it's extending to Bonnie, it's extending to Caroline. It's just he doesn't view them as toys in a sense. So I guess that's some progress. I really liked how that moment where Damon just looked at Lily, looked at the woman who gave birth to him, that, no, this is not the same. You are taking away someone I care about. I guess in a sense, Damon did the same thing to Lily, but I don't know. Just for me, I like that moment, the way Damon delivered it. And I'm going to say this now, when it comes to characters in a TV show and what they do, I have pretty much a double standard to that. I may like a lot of things a character does in a TV show, but if it was turned around and if someone did that in real life, I will not be for it, most likely. I will not be for it. So a lot of the times I'll like a lot of things that I should not like in reality, but I like them on the TV show. I'm just saying. So top 3 peeve moments before I use up all my time. A major peeve of mine was Lily Salvatore interviews on being a mother. I don't know if she's tied with Esther for being the worst mother ever, or if she's getting the trophy for that title. Because with Lily, I just don't understand it. It's like, what right does she have to claim not only Mystic Falls as her home when she left it to begin with? And then how can she turn her back on her own sons when she abandoned them first and it claimed that these complete strangers are her family, not just that her son? She put more emphasis that Malcolm was her eldest son while Damon was standing right in front of her. I mean, I just don't understand. At least with Esther, she never turned her children away. Yeah, she treated them badly, but she never disowned them. She never claimed anything worse. Yeah, she tried to kill them. But back in the originals in season 2, she tried to purify them. She tried to bring them back to the pure versions of them she remembered, instead of these evil beings that she had created. But with Lily, she wants to disregard the fact that Damon and Stefan are her children. And she wants to take these complete strangers who she's basically replaced her own sons for. It's just, I don't understand it. It just makes no sense. And then what Lily did with the Salvatore family crypt. First of all, Lily is not a Salvatore. She was not born a Salvatore. Sure, she married into the family, but she doesn't have a birthright to the Salvatore name. That's my opinion. So I really don't. There was my timer. I'm definitely going overboard today. But I don't see how Lily has a right to the Salvatore family crypt. Not only did she leave the family when she did, but she was married into the family, so she was not born with the Salvatore, and therefore she shouldn't have a right to the Salvatore family crypt. And Elena's someone dear to not only Damon but to Stefan as well, so it makes sense why she would be in the Salvatore crypt where no one was supposed to disturb her. So there's that. Final peeve moment is the stupid college kids looking for a ghost in the newly evacuated Mystic Falls. I mean, don't they have a brain? I'm assuming they would if they got into college, but apparently they lost it somewhere. And it's like the whole time I was watching, it's like, you never once watched Supernatural, because in the wise words of Dean Winchester in episode 110, he said, when someone says a place is haunted, don't go in. Very true words to live by when you're not a hunter of the supernatural, that is. So there's that. Next section, what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? Probably be the Damon and Bonnie phone call, or the fact that Damon and Stefan realized that Lily wanted to turn them against each other, and instead they decide to bond together and reinforce their plan to not have her come between them. So there's that. Random questions. 1, do you think the heretics have their emotions turned off? On the one hand, I think they did, because of all like the brutality and the fact they find joy in causing people pain. But then again, they care for the other heretics as family. So it's kind of a toss-up there. 2, before Malcolm's death, do you think the heretics thought that they were invincible? Very hard or impossible to kill, like the originals thought when the white oak stake or the daggers aren't part of the equation. And 3, who is Caroline engaged to? It's not Stefan or Damon, so there's that. Is it a character we know already, or is it someone we've never met yet? And are we going to meet them soon? I might even want to toss out there, is there a possibility it could be Klaus? I know Caroline fans will be excited for that possibility, but who knows. Another question, just thought of it now, but did anyone else get like a little fan fiction moment going? Because I know during the episode, especially with the Damon and Lily scenes, I know as a fan fiction writer, I always get a lot of times when I'm watching something, I'd get like a different version of how I would want the episode to go, and then that's kind of like my fan fiction moment, I usually call it. But I know for me, a lot of it was little moments of just Damon standing up to Lily, or Damon bringing up the fact that she abandoned them as kids just so that she can fulfill this immortal lifestyle. So for me, those are my fan fiction moments. I even have one where like Damon is being surrounded by heretics, but then all of a sudden they find themselves powerless because of Dean's new powerful buddy, or Damon's new powerful buddy Dean, coming in as Demon Dean, because that's my crossover fan fiction moment right there. So does anyone else have any fan fiction moments like that? I'd love to hear about them in the comments below, because I know I'm my mind's swirling with them still. So, before I make this really long, I don't mean to, actually, predictions. Number 1, we need to find out the identity of this mysterious future huntress and what she wants with our Mystic Falls gang. So far, she's actively hunting Damon and Stefan. It's safe to assume she went after Caroline in Texas, or she has a partner who went after Caroline. So, is anyone else going to be a target? I'm assuming Bonnie's still alive because Damon was in a coffin waiting for Elena. So Bonnie would have to be alive, but anyone else? Or maybe this mysterious future huntress is one of the hunters from the Brotherhood of the Five, maybe. Maybe she's a buddy of Jeremy's and doesn't know it. I don't know. Next prediction. If Alark does manage to resurrect Joe, then I think something will go wrong. Bound to happen when you resurrect the dead. Third thing. Something may happen between Enzo and Lily because she seems stunned that he was interested in her like that. And I'm wondering if that's truly what Enzo wants, or if he wants to distract Lily and make her vulnerable and then prove that he's really on Team Damon's side. Gotta get some Denzo stuff in there for sure. Next, prediction. The war continues between the Heretics and our Mystic Falls gang. I'm thinking it's at least going to take up the first portion of the season, probably. Another thing, Jeremy and Tyler were brought up in this episode, especially when Damon and Stefan moved into the Lockwood mansion. And I'm meant to think that Jeremy and Tyler are hunting together. Therefore, the Salvatores know that Jeremy's hunting and not at art school like he had told Elena when he first left town. So, maybe we'll see Jeremy and Tyler make an appearance at some point and help the gang out against the Heretics. They maybe do that, but then again, Tyler and Jeremy are still mortal, so that might be an issue. So, that is all I'm going to say. I definitely went over my timer, but it's just so much to say, and I just didn't want to leave it out. So, what did you guys think of the episode? Did you guys like it? Were there some things you just wish went differently? What about your own thoughts and predictions, or just what you have a feeling is going to happen? Don't know. I'd love to hear anything you'd have to say about the episode or even about the season 7 so far, so leave a comment down below. I would love to read it. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you have the time. I truly appreciate it. It means the world that you are even just listening to one of my videos. Thank you for that. And don't forget to share with all your other Vampire Diaries fans. And if you want to check out for any more spoilers regarding this season, or if you want to just look back on old episodes, check out my Tumblr page. Links for that will be down in the description box below. If you want a more detailed, jot-noted version about the episode, check out my LiveJournal account. The link for that will be down below in the description box. And that's pretty much it. So until next week, this is Mel wishing you all a fantastic day wherever you are. Bye-bye for now.